Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I wanted to clear up something. I screwed up when I did my original review of this. For whatever reason, I thought it was called Little Rock instead of Young Rock. I want to show. I still thought it was called Little Rock. I don't know, but I mean that's what I thought it was called. So excuse going out. I said the show wrong, but my review still stands. I called it Little Rock instead of Young Rock. I'm probably gonna make that mistake forever talking about this show. So here's my review. I hope y'all like it. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today. Like about 2, 3 weeks ago, I saw a commercial during one of my Saturday Lives. Was watched to do a video about it. I mean, pretty excited. There was going to be a show called Little Rock about Dwayne the Rock Johnson growing up, and it was cool. They had some shows like 30 Rock and stuff, but this is completely different. And it talks about him running for president, and also him being interviewed by the same guy that played Jimmy Woo on WandaVision. And he goes back in time and talks about him as a kid. Because he was born in the wrestling business for real. His dad was Chief Peter Myvie, and then his dad was Rocky Johnson. And I remember him in the '80s and stuff like that, growing up with him. And sadly, he passed away. And at the very end of the episode, it said dedicated to his dad. It was real sweet, and they left it up so you could really read it. So I mean, it wasn't like 3 seconds. It was up maybe 20 seconds. You could read it, so that was cool. Um, I remember reading in his book, The Rock Says, because whenever I got back into wrestling and stuff, the wrestlers writing these bestsellers became a big thing of Mick Foley, because that was the first one. And I think The Rock Says was the second one I read. The Rock Says is really good, but I mean, someone was BS because there was a thing where some chapters just him talking about his life. Then there was some chapters, and the text was the print of the text was different. It was supposed to be The Rock talking as himself. And that was all that was bullshit. I mean, that was like he's cursing and stuff like that, saying he was being it's just he came out being a real jerk. I mean, that totally took you out of the book. That was a big mistake doing that. But all the stuff about him growing up was fantastic. And they showed like him, born in the wrestling fan. They showed him having dinner with some other wrestlers. And it was cool seeing the people played him, like the Wild Samoans, Junkyard Dog, Iron Sheik. I didn't know they used to hang out. I didn't know that. Andre the Giant, who kind of didn't look like him, but he sounded like him. Uh, and it was really good. The guy who they playing Rocky Johnson, his dad, looked like it. It was really good. Show him as a kid, and then show him as a teenager, then showed him as a young adult in the 20s. I mean, there was times when he, he's like world famous and rich and stuff like that, but there was a time when he wasn't. There's some great stories in the book about that. I hope they explored in this show. I mean, this show is fantastic. I mean, it's one. I love the show. I mean, because with wrestling and stuff like that, everyone keeps telling me about A&W. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it. Um, I don't think Demonic likes the show, but I mean, I have not watched AEW, whatever it is, on TNT or TNN. But I mean, WWE is just not good anymore. I used to be huge into WWE. I mean, because I was from like 76 up till 93, I was big into WWE, and then I kind of lost interest in it. But I would watch like old tapes and stuff that I had, and that was it. I wasn't watching the show anymore. And then when I had Raw, and then that's it. Boy, it's getting good right now, and I was like, I don't know if I want to get back into it. And eventually, I got lulled back into it, and I became huge into it from '98 up until my dad passed away. I was still into it for a year or two, and then the interest I just started losing interest and stuff like that. I was watching Total Divas, and I was going to watch Mrs. Show. I never saw it. And then I watched It Runs in the Family. I mean, no, Fighting with My Family about Pages. I had told John about all that stuff, and John said he probably won't like it. You didn't have to appreciate pro wrestling like that movie. Fighting with the Family was great. I think that's what inspired this movie, because that was critically acclaimed. I think this show is 100% awesome. I like the show. It's funny, clever, and I mean, a lot of it's truth based. I mean, there's some like exaggerated stuff during the interview, but I mean, the show was fantastic. I liked it. Now I give it a 10 out of 10. Now the next show, because they said like Little Rock, and then the next would be Kenan. I said, well, I'll watch it and review it too. That's a bonus review. For this video, I'm going to say Little Rock, and then I'll put Kenan on there too. Kenan is a weird show. I like Kenan Thompson. I mean, I liked a lot of the characters he does on SNL. Because I mean, he likes being silly. And then somebody looks like he's trying not to laugh because his humor's comedy is so silly. But the show just comes off as being really bizarre. And basically, it's like him raising two girls after their mom died, and they have his father-in-laws with him, played by I almost said R.D. Johnson, Don Johnson, and then his like manager / buddy is played by Chris Redd, who was a bit player on Saturday Night Live. I think he left or something like that. I've seen him on a few shows. I'm curious to why he left, but it's okay. He looks like beer drank shoddy. Anyways, I mean, I think the way the show is set, like he's like has a talk show. I just think it's bizarre. I mean, the show comes off as being really weird. It really does. Lauren Michael produced it. Now, there's a few parts where Kenan Thompson actually is dramatic in the movie, and he does a pretty good job. I still think the show is watchable. I just think it's weird. I give it a 7 out of 10. So I hope you like this review of the Little Rock and Kenan. It premiered last night on NBC at 8 o'clock, and then Kenan was 8:30. I mean, I was going to do a review, but I didn't want to. I'm going to put this up probably Wednesday afternoon. I didn't want to smash my main video too much. I don't doubt it will, but you never know. So I like the Little Rock was awesome. Kenan is bizarre but very watchable. So there you have it. I hope you like the video. Bye. Till next time, please take care, my legion.